to port or to comp your gun? Yes. You see, comps and ports essentially do the same thing, but go about it a different way. With the comp, what you're basically doing is you're adding a piece of equipment to the end of your threaded barrel. If you live in one of those free states, you can have a threaded barrel, and you will have to time the comp up front, make sure it's well aligned and all that stuff. By adding that, and I'm not trying to get super technical because I'm not a technical guy, I'm a practical guy. By adding the comp up front, what you end up with is a slightly longer slide and a slightly heavier front end of your firearm. As far as it being effective at mitigating some of the felt recoil and the muzzle flip, it is effective. So this is not a bad idea. If length is not an issue for you, especially if you run a lights like that, it almost kind of makes this a non-issue. So I would say go for it. But with added length, you may have to reconsider your holster configuration. Initially, this holster was made for a 509 tactical with a threaded barrel up front. That's why you have this cutout here for it. But since I've added the comp, this thing will not go all the way because now the comp is getting in the way. So if you intend, and this could actually be used as a tip, just a tip, stay focused. If you're gonna have a custom-made holster, just, if you could, please just always leave the end open, because you never know what you might end up doing to your firearm, you know, in terms of upgrading it or whatever. Give yourself room to grow. Like literally, this thing grew and now I can't use this holster. But the good thing is you have the option to also port. Let's get into it. Cool thing about this is no added length up front. As a matter of fact, with this specific cut, I actually have a slide that's a little lighter than the factory slide, and combined with the ports here, it actually makes for a very soft shooting firearm and just easy to handle. Like this thing actually, hold on, let me complete this loop. All right, it's more better this way. This thing is just a joy to shoot, like drawing from the holster. Speaking of holsters, because this is just the same standard slide length with no added device up front, still fits in here, and I can close this, run it like that, call it a day. Draw, go for it, and we're in business, baby. So that's the advantage. Do the ports work? Yes, they do. Some of the cons to ports, in my opinion, are the noise level. The blast that comes out of there is a lot louder than what you get with the comp, because with the comp, it's towards the end of the muzzle. It really just functions kind of like a muzzle brake. I mean, really, that's what it is. And the occasional, you know, fireballs that you get from your ports here, they can be distracting, but it's so short-lived. It's not gonna throw off your sight picture or distract you, especially if you're used to it. You just know from time to time, every 2 or other 3 rounds, you're gonna have some of the hot blast coming out of there, which I think is actually pretty cool, if you ask me. My preferred setup between the two, I will say I like this color combo, but I prefer this configuration a lot more, just because it's very light and just a joy to shoot, man. This has a little bit of bounciness to it, even though the comp is really effective. But you know, at the end of the day, pick what works for you. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to invest a lot in finding out which one you like, unless you already have friends that do have those setups, and you can try and see what works for you. Which brings me to one more thing that would serve as a pro to having a comp. Instead of porting your slide and barrel, I can always undo this. I can remove the comp, put the thread protector back in. If I ever, which will never happen, but if I ever get rid of this, I can undo all the mods that I've done here just by taking this off, and then that's it. With this, there's no going back. It is what it is. It has to be sold as is. But in case I didn't make myself clear the first time, these are not for sale. All right, YouTube? All right, relax. Anyways, that's it. I was trying to do this in 3 minutes, but I might have fun a little longer. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Thanks for watching. Do the YouTube thing. We are all adults. Just play your part. I'm done.